It Takes Two, Amy Eiler, JJ Gordon here on the Mighty 790. KFGO checking in with us from Consumer Reports is Lisa Gill. Lisa, welcome to KFGO Radio.
Hi, Amy. Thanks so much for having me on.
We wanted to talk about this Quaker recall, and we will. But first, I just asked you off the air. I said, just out of curiosity, where are you located? And you said Austin, Texas. So we were curious,
right.
How's the weather down there? There's also a lot of memes going on about how you're feeling about your weather and how we would feel about your weather.
Yeah, I feel so terrible to say that today's high, although we've had some pretty cold temperatures like 15, 18, 20. Today we're going to get to almost 70 degrees.
Oh,
really?
I'm really sorry. Yeah.
Wow.
Everything's thawed finally. Yeah, it's pretty remarkable. It feels like spring break.
That is amazing. But it has been pretty brutal for you guys, right?
For us, it's been terrible. Anything under 32, and all of a sudden, it's just like everything just shuts down. We had a drizzle of sort of ice, sleet, and you stay home. There's like no going out until that melts.
I mean, in fairness, when I lived out on the East Coast, I thought it was ridiculous that everything shut down for an inch of snow. I'm like, people, it's nice. Like, what are we doing here? But in fairness, in a lot of these other, I'm sure Austin, Texas included, like, you don't have the brine that we put on roads.
No.
To melt
No.
ice. You know what I mean? Like all of those things. It's just,
you don't
it's
have
just
the
a different
2
world.
feet of insulation that we have in our attics to trap heat inside the
Right.
home.
Yeah.
Yes, that is exactly. And on top of it, we also don't have the driving expertise, because we don't do it very often. So when besides the cold in the air, just to get out on the roads, you don't want to get out there with other people who don't really drive in that kind of weather very often. So
true.
best just to sit at home and wait it out.
Yeah, listen, I don't know what to do when wild boars come into my area, so I'll leave that to you Texans to tell me how to, figure that out.
It's true. We all have our expertises.
Uh-huh.
That's right.
It's about 2 degrees here with a wind chill of about 13 below right now.
Oh, and that's probably warm compared to what you experienced.
It's warming up. It's warming up right now. Yes, we're looking for like a high of 27 on Monday, and everyone's pulling their shorts back out. That's how we're feeling. But we did have a very long, uneventful fall that it was very kind to us. Our winter has been very kind to us, so we can't really complain up here. We are much below our typical snowfall, and it's been actually pretty nice.
Wow.
But Lisa, we called you because of this Quaker recall. When I looked at the list, we were talking about it at the beginning of the show. First of all, this is a pantry staple for a lot of people, parents included, with these little granola bars. But it looks like the list is so long. I honestly laughed when I saw the bottom of it and was like, Quaker products that are not recalled. And I was like, is that list shorter?
Yes, it is. It is. It's a little painful. And there's a very specific reason for that. All of these products have the potential to be contaminated with salmonella, that dozens upon dozens upon dozens of products. And it's pretty serious. And so, we're having a good conversation about the weather, but salmonella is nothing to joke about. About 1.3 million people get infected every year, and for some people, it can be really bad. Healthy adults can ride it out, but kids, really small kids, older people with compromised immune systems, or if they're pregnant, salmonella can turn into really a health crisis. So that list is, Quaker Oats is being extremely conservative and trying to just recall as much stuff as possible to reduce the risk of anybody getting sick. And unfortunately, salmonella is quite contagious, and if you have a product on that list, definitely throw it out or take it back for a refund.
Yeah. And okay, so what can you do if you've bought it? If you don't have your receipt, can you take it back to the place that you bought it?
Yeah, so you can. And then, they like proof of purchase, but for something so serious and such a big product, we recommend just taking it back. And, what's one interesting thing with these Quaker Oats products is they all have a QR code on them, and you can just scan it easily, find out if that's one of the recalled products or not, and then return it.
Very easy. And I checked my pantry. I didn't have any. JJ made a really good
Great.
point at the beginning of our show. He said these are really like these granola bar products are really easy to throw out at businesses, sort of in
Oh,
a
yeah.
break room or for visitors. So even if you're at a business, you should be checking what's sitting out for people.
That is exactly right. And one really strange, I mean, maybe not so strange, but one interesting thing is that the reason that they're being recalled is, Quaker oats, like the traditional oats, are cooked. Like you would buy them dry, but then you would cook them on the stovetop or in some other fashion. And when they reach it's about 160 degrees or so, it kills off pathogens like salmonella. But for raw products like the bars and the chewy bars and the raw cereals and the puffs and things that are eaten when they're not have the benefit of cooking, then that's where you get to the risk, and that's why that list is so long.
Interesting.
I'm curious, what if someone thinks like, oh no, I ate this morning?
Right. That's a good question. If you can, try to get a hold of the wrapper, and even better if you can get a hold of the box, if you purchase the box or you know where it came from, and do a scan on it and find out if it's been find out if it has been recalled, and if it has been, let's hope you're already healthy. There's a chance that it's not that they're all contaminated, it's just that there's a risk of it, and that's the really important part. If you do get sick, so sick can be fever, diarrhea, vomiting. I mean, it's pretty unpleasant. If that goes on for more than about 3 or 4 days, you definitely want to contact your doctor, especially if you have a fever, and you can't keep anything down or anything in you. Definitely contact your doctor and let them know what you ate.
It just seems like we're in a world where information travels so fast that these recalls, we can activate pretty quickly when it comes to a recall in 2024 compared to where we were in 1995.
Yeah, that's right. No, that is exactly right. We're very lucky there. Even though a lot of consumer advocates, including Consumer Reports, have really pressed the FDA to actually become even more responsive, they're taking steps to do that. You're right. I mean, compared to 20 years ago or more, these recalls are happening kind of like I write a recall story I write 2 to 3 a week.
Wow.
Maybe to be fair, maybe 1 to 3 a week, but there are a number of recalls. This one is notable because of how big it is, and it's a major company. You don't see it all the time. A lot of times it's with like fresh produce, maybe deli meats and cheeses, things like that. And so this one's a little bit unusual, and in its size and scope and how well known that brand name is.
Absolutely.
But definitely keep an eye out.
Lisa Gill, Consumer Reports contributor, with us here today. We'll have this podcast at kfgo.com, and check those boxes and labels when you get home. Lisa, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks so much. Take care and stay warm.
Yeah, enjoy that 70 degrees. We're not mad about it. We're fine. We're fine. We're doing fine. Okay, thanks, Lisa.